Hi, I'm Laurie and welcome to The Patient is Always Right. This is where myself and Derek, Ignite CEO and founder, have unfiltered real talk with guests from the aesthetics, medical, dental and wellness industries. No fluff, just the truth about building a business, facing challenges and working with patients in a fast-moving, ever-changing industry. We're bringing you the highs, the lows and everything in between. If you want honest conversations and real stories behind the success, you're in the right place. Welcome back to The Patient is Always Right, the minisode. So today is our final episode and I have Jake back in the studio to talk about some of our highs and lows and best bits of the series so far. So, Jake, welcome.
Thanks for having me back again, reluctantly, but thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to talk about the series, all the amazing guests that we have, some of the highs and lows. I think we'll start low, bring ourselves back up. What were the lows of this season?
To be fair, I've had to block a lot of it out. So no, I'm joking. It's not been that. There's not really been that many. You and me have worked very hard on this over the last few weeks. I mean, all the team have, but obviously we've been in here a lot. But there's not really been any major lows. I think that is a massive testament just how much we've sort of thrown ourselves in literally to the deep end of this and taken it on the chin. But I am genuinely interested from your perspective. This is a two-way street here. What's been your lows first?
There's actually not been a low as such. I mean, as a company, we've been through loads in the last few weeks. And I would say not that it was a low, it's definitely like a test for myself, but just like having to step up and just like go. That's been actually probably a high and a low, in the sense low that it was like came out of nowhere, but high in the fact that got the opportunity to do that and it's been great fun.
So on that, I mean, obviously, in case anyone doesn't know, obviously our team will, but not necessarily people who are watching for the first time. Our founder and CEO, Derek, obviously is a co-host with yourself on the show, and you both did amazing and have done, but you are in a few more of them. That stepping up that you had to do, obviously that was because Derek, has had to take a bit of a step back from the show for his own reasons. And, he's trusted you to take that on, which I know you were very happy to do. I know you didn't want to because you wanted to obviously share that responsibility, but you've stepped up to it amazingly well. I've been incredibly impressed already. And so have the guests, because, they've sat here and then all gone, wow, like, I've been on Lorraine. It's not great. It's absolutely fine.
Sorry, I think one said Oprah, actually.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
No offense, Lorraine, but Oprah is a different
Sorry,
thing.
yes. I was trying to keep it a British reference, but yes. But honestly, you have stepped up. Obviously, Derek was just a natural anyway and has been. And I know it's been his dream to get this off the ground. And I know he'll be over the moon with what you and him have done with it anyway. But yeah, you've stepped up massively on that. So I'm sure that was a challenge in itself, just from a pressure point of view. Although I think is it fair to say it's faded? I don't want to speak for you, but like...
Yeah, I mean, it's. I feel like we're well into the podcast now. That initial... I mean, we shot 4 episodes in 2 days. And that was probably more so pressure because it was like, okay, thrown straight in the deep end. But it was the best way to do it because now I feel a lot more comfortable. I feel like if I got a chance to do it all over again, there's some things I would do differently. But you've also had the pressure of, I know Derek's never literally manning the cameras, but you've still had to pretty much take control of the production side in-house in the studio as well.
Yeah, but as I said, I sort of knew that was going to happen. That wasn't a surprise. Like I said, has it been challenging? Yeah, sure. But like, has it been a problem? No, it's just been busy. It's been on top of everything else. Okay, so no real lows. I think we're both in agreement there. And we're not just saying that, like, genuinely, every guest has been great fun. Every guest has been very different as well, which has been, and you think, oh, there's going to be a sort of, like that day when we had those 2 days, we had 4 people. Every single one was different.
Yep.
All the stories were different. Their personalities and different energies. The episodes will have come out differently, I'm sure. But in terms of highs then, do you want to?
Yeah, I'm happy to kick it off. So highs, just getting to do it has been a high. Getting to hang out with you, getting to work with Holly on creating scripts and research and igniting, oh God, that was like a pun I didn't even intend for, but igniting that sort of creative fire, that's been a real high. And it's been so nice to be creative again. For those of you that don't know, I was once creative. We won't go into that story. Save that for another podcast.
It wasn't really in your job remit to begin with, I'm sure. But
no, it was not. It was not. But I've loved it. So yeah, that's me. What about you? What's been your high?
I think actually being able to take sort of hold and go, right, I've shot, recorded and edited at least some of them, if not the main ones to begin with, before handing it over, like a whole podcast show that's out there now. I can say that that was not on my CV or professional experience even just a few months ago. It wasn't. So I'm very happy about that as a personal high. As a group high, I think, yeah, obviously you, me, Derek, Holly, the extended team have contributed. Like it's been a real good fun sort of challenge, and again on top of all our normal sort of work that we do day to day, which isn't podcast related. We don't do this. Yeah, so it's been very impressive. What about guests though? What's been some stand-up moments for you, do you reckon?
Okay, so I've got two.
Okay.
One, so our first ever guest, Barry.
Yeah.
That in itself was a whole highlight.
Friend of the show. Shout out Barry.
Yeah, Barry was so great. Seeing Derek come into his own was really fun. I also loved that I had to do the tiniest bit of segment, but the best part, his story. I'm not going to give it away at all, because if you haven't watched the podcast, which you definitely should have by now, he tells probably the best patient story of the season, I would say, and that's starting strong.
It did. Actually, he did 3. So secret is that we actually had to cut. I can't remember when we cut now, but it was about 1 or 2.
4, and we cut.
Yeah, actually, it probably was about 4. Yeah, there was a few. Anyway, we kept the best 2, I think, because there was 2 that were just like great. But we did have to cut a couple, and I'm really sorry, Barry, because they were really good stories. But yeah, we just didn't have that much capacity for them. So yeah, he just kept coming out with them, and they were
he was great.
Fire.
And then my second one would be, I loved all the guests. I particularly loved speaking to Cara. I loved speaking to her, talking about her personal challenges and connecting with her sort of as a mum, like a working mum. It's something that you don't get to talk about too often, but genuinely loved everyone. I loved Richard. I loved Vanessa. I loved Dana. They were all great. And also Suggs. So I feel like that's one of my favourite episodes. Sorry, I've just dropped in a third, because we get to talk about AI, and I love AI, but I won't give, again, too much away. But what about you? Barry
was a great opener for us. It was Barry, for context, was the first episode and the first day that we started shooting. So obviously Derek stepping up, you stepping up, just actually starting that was a big day for us. Yeah, it was just so fun. Like after the first episode, we sat there and went, oh, we've done that. Wow. That was pretty incredible. And we all felt really good about it. I know by the end we were knackered, because it was just been a long day generally. Not that anyone was a problem. But I'm very intrigued to see where we go with the next season as well. I think, just a tangent here, but I think it would be good to see what we can do differently. Obviously, we'll get new guests, which will be really exciting. We'll hopefully go on some more tangents. The AI thing as well, we did touch on with Suggs, but I think there's more to be done there. Yeah, and there's probably some more people I'm sure we can get on who are very good in that space.
Yeah, and to be honest, if anyone's watching and they think, I would love to be a guest on the show, and they're in the medical, aesthetic, dental, wellness, longevity, beauty, whatever, just drop us a message, because we really want to hear from different voices in the industry.
Call us. Well, don't call me. Call Laurie, but definitely, yeah.
Or maybe email me. What are you looking forward to next season?
I think I am looking forward to getting, like I said, new people on. In different spaces again in the sectors that we work with. We've had 2 dentists, we've had 4 people who are in the aesthetics industry as well. I'd love to see what other variety of people we can get on from those industries, maybe even not directly in those industries, but have experience with them. I think that would be really interesting. Like I said, the AI conversation as well. And then in terms of just production, I want to keep, from a technical point of view, I just want to keep the production sort of fresh in the next season. I don't want to, again, get complacent or just keep it the same, because we've learned a lot from day 1 on this, and we want to sort of keep it evolving, really. It's started, now we need to keep it growing and evolving, and that might be new set design, that might be, I don't know, just new topics, new challenges, new fun elements that we want to inject. We've experimented this season, because again it was all new, and I think we get to do that again, and hopefully we'll come up with some new, I say we, you and Holly obviously will come up with some excellent new ideas, and I'll just try and execute them for you, which is part of the stress of my job, to be honest. But it is also good fun.
It is good fun. So yeah, you've said it perfectly. So I think it's time to wrap up, because we could get into this all day and just keep chatting as we always do. Yep. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We look forward to seeing you next time for season 2. The patient is always right. Bye. Love hearing the real stories behind the aesthetics, medical and dental industries? Make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Patient Is Always Right for exclusive content. You can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to watch the full episodes on YouTube. Hit follow, subscribe, and stay tuned.